Hopefully all this works. So we're sending a video signal. On a blank screen for a second. And we're going to click go live. Hey! So, look at my Instagram comments over here. So, let's see if this continues to work. So now we'll go over here to this one. Go live. That's good. So now I take this screen and make it smaller. I'm figuring this out, guys. This is, to be honest, kind of difficult to figure out. All right, what's up, guys? I thought I was going to have to go do something else to be able to go live on Instagram, but I was able to do it. I added Instagram. I got Facebook. We've got TikTok. We've got X. We got Twitch. It was a little bit difficult, but I did it. So, right now I'm going to talk about things that you guys have questions about, and I've got to get some more work done. So that just means I've got to work and talk. So you guys can watch me work, but we can talk about other stuff. What's up, Rodney? Hope you guys are doing well. I would suppose most likely the predominant question that everybody's going to have is going to be, I'm trying to see how this stream, can I pause the video? Is it possible to do that? So what does that work? It drops in another thing. I know I can't close it, but I wish I could pause it. All right, whatever, it's fine, ain't no big deal. So let me know if the video is choppy on any of the screens. I think Instagram's probably going to be the most questionable just because I'm playing the video back while also doing the recording. So hey, there's a lot going on here. But I think the most important question everybody's going to be asking is, what the heck is a key down? I'm pretty sure that's what everybody's going to ask. If you guys would like to know about soldering and about other stuff, by all means, I will be happy to answer it. Don't feel like I am going to leave you guys out. But specifically, for the guys who just have to have information about what the heck's going on with these key downs, you guys can feel free to ask. What's up? Happy Saturday. Hope you're doing good, David. What's up, Rodney? Hope you're doing well also. I normally don't work on Saturdays, but I got to do a little bit to get caught up because I got too much stuff going on, too many orders in line, and I just got to get some stuff knocked out. Let me grab a new rag real quick. You guys will still be able to hear me just fine. Taterhead, what's up, man? We're working on some Coax now. I've got a bunch of sample line I got to get built. I've got to find my pile of rags over here. I've got a whole bag full of them. I found them right here. There they are. So I just need to get one of them out, and we'll use that. Anybody need some RG316? I've got about 3,000 foot of it right now. Of course, I've got RG393 and RG400. So lots of cool stuff. So, like I said, I don't know how Instagram's going to go. We're just screwing around with this thing and seeing how it works. See if I can load it up on here without being on the Wi-Fi. Instagram. Can I see my own live? Does that work? All right. Next, you want to go ahead and kind of solder the middle right here. Like I said, if you guys got questions, we will play with this and see how it goes. I am still figuring this out. I see somebody joined on Instagram, but I don't know about the rest of them. So, Facebook, bunch of you guys hanging out, so I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, pop forward some questions. What's up, Lee? Hope you, yeah, trying to, man. Hey, I got another custom shipment came in for that one there, Lee. So, got some good news there. I just got to get about 4 more hands and we'll be doing good. Today, I might be working on some side projects, but I've got to get the main projects underway. I've got, I don't really have several hours. I made several hours to be able to make this happen. I don't know if I'll be live the whole time, but I know I've got to get a bunch of stuff accomplished, so I'm going to try to at least get some stuff prepped while I'm here. This is my off day, so if I'm not working on your item in the order that it was received, this is not to be rude to you, but I'm just getting as much as I can get done on my off day. So whatever I can get that'll help me knock things out, help things move along, I'm going to do it on this day because it's not part of my regular work day. Also, like I said, if you guys got questions about key downs, feel free to ask, because I just got back from one, so we'll see how it goes for you guys. Yeah, I know, right? It's slow and steady. I mean, I wish I could be I don't know. I just need more hours in the day. There's going to be another fun project that's going to be coming up here really soon that I'm going to be working on again, some different hours than what I do on my normal RF supply. But it's going to be something that'll be pretty cool to be able to document a little bit of it on the RF supply, so I can show you guys how to do certain things when it comes to connections and stuff. So I think it'll be really nice and cool to share. I'm also kind of partnering with another business to be able to share it with you guys, so you guys will see it on there too. For the guys that are following the other business, like I said, you'll see it there. For the guys that are not, I will still have plenty of content over here for you guys to be able to see. Again, it's not during the normal hours of my RF supply, so I'll still be doing my RF supply lives. If you guys want to know about the next key down is going to be West Palm Beach. The next event is going to be Walterboro, South Carolina. Walterboro is just a swap meet. Actually, I will be at I didn't think about that. But the next two events, Walterboro, South Carolina, and Dayton, Ohio. I'm going to be at a ham fest before the next key down. So I'll be at, like I said, Walterboro, South Carolina, which is a CB event, and I will be at a ham fest in mid-May. So that's the current. Hey, thanks for the follow, Don. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Jose Ugo, James, and Rubanks. Hope you guys are doing well too. Hope everybody's doing good over there in Facebook land. Apparently, Instagram has decided they want to make me popular for whatever reason, and about 1 million people have saw my video on Instagram. We're only about 350 or 380,000 saw it on Facebook, and it looks like on, what is it, TikTok, we're sitting at around 330,000 on TikTok land. 331 on TikTok. On Instagram, see if I can get it to pull up. Looks like it's adding Facebook views, but it is 935,000 on Instagram and 401,000 on Facebook. All you Facebookers are slacking. Instagram's getting you beat. But yeah, it was a key down. So if you guys didn't, can I have a Ford Edge with a fiberglass roof? Can I mount an antenna on the trailer hitch receiver? Yes, I've mounted an antenna on a trailer hitch receiver before. What's up, 27? Waving a hand, man. Hey, let me see if I can find a piece of paper for you there, 27. This is off of my normal work hours. I don't work right now, but I can definitely see if I can find a little piece of paper real quick. 27. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can grab a hold of a box. I've got a box full of these things over here somewhere. Now, I just got back from a trip, so it might be a little harder for me to find. Where would I have put them? I see my 1/2-inch 7/8 TIAs. And here is some. Yeah, this might be what, this is not all of them, but this is some of them. Okay, cool. Let's see if we got a data sheet in here. Nope, same QR code. So we got a QR code in this one right here. but I can kind of show you the concept of how this sets up. This setup, the way it works is you'll take a 7/8 coax like this right here. You're going to strip your jacket back on some 7/8 to be able to put an EIA flange on it like this. I'm leaving this in the plastic. Physical length wise, you're going to go all the way up to the base of this connection right here. So if you were to measure it, where is my handy dandy caliper right here? So if you were to measure it, this coax is a little bit bigger than this coax right here, if you haven't noticed already. What's up, Raffy? Hope you're doing well. Ice cream, waving a hand, man. Hope you're doing well also. Let me see if I can see who else is hanging out in here. So you're going to want to cut back with the jacket on. It doesn't really matter too much, but I would cut back somewhere around right here, around 16 millimeters or so. You're going to want to hit on the top of a leading edge right here. So what I like to do is I'll mark it beforehand. So I'll find the highest part of an edge right here and mark it with my little knife right here. And then I'll take, uh-oh, hang on, my battery's not charging. Give me just a second. All right, it might kill my stuff, but it is what it is. Hopefully it doesn't. Don't get mad at me if it does. Let you know we're doing pretty decent with that one. We're gonna open this one back up and see if I can get it to come back. Come on, buddy. Thank you. Open back up. You can do it. Kill that. Give me just a second, TikTok. I've got apparently my stuff wasn't charging, so it was messing up the speed of all my stuff. Facebook land, we're good. Looks like everything else we're doing pretty good. At 9% charge, we would have died. We would have died in a heartbeat. So let me make this toolbar back full size. Let me get this thing back. I'll show you guys this cut in just a second. Give me just a moment. I got to fix this little. I call it Rover is actually the name. It's a little a 360 webcam that I can actually use with. It's got its own little built-in gimbal. Because on TikTok specifically, they just got to be unique, and I can't do anything with those guys unless it's with that setup. So I'm going to try to unplug this and replug it back in. Maybe I won't regret this. We'll see how this goes. So we've connected the device back. We've got the screen back on. We've got the toolbar back up. See if we can get the camera back on TikTok. So set the settings right there. Give me just a second. You guys on Instagram and Facebook, just know that I'm trying to be kind to these guys. Actually, let me just forget it. That's easy. Thank you guys on TikTok. I'll be back. Just hop back in on the live in just a few seconds. So that's easy enough. I can just do it this way. Well, let's see if I can get it. I'll deal with it later. All right, we're doing pretty good. What's up, Calvin? Hope you're doing well. Chicken Man. Prime Time. Hope you're doing well. Jack. Hope you're doing well. Murdoch. So we've got a mark right here. Let's see the mark. That's not the mark that I was looking for. Where's the mark I made? Right here. Here's the mark I just made. We want the coax to be relatively straight right here as far as this goes. I'm going to see if I can kill TikTok real quick. Control Function Delete. I think Control Alt Function Delete. Open a task manager right there. And we're gonna pop that bugger up and kill TikTok real quick. TikTok will be back shortly, guys. Yeah, I got plenty of people hopping in TikTok, but this toolbar maybe is in the way. I don't know. see if I can right click and close it over here. Close window. All right, we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and cut this booger real quick. I've got some big cutters sitting right over here. I usually put these away whenever I'm working on smaller stuff. I might have to, yep, there they are. I had to dig them back out. So again, this is, I'm cutting this to straighten up my edge. You could use a, cut that right there. You could use a hacksaw. You could use a couple different things. Then from there, I want to cut back, I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 ridges right there. Worst case scenario, if it's not far enough back, you can go back 1 more ridge. I like to pick the high edge of a ridge. Let's see if I get a sharper blade. I don't know if I'm in the shot or not. Let me check the camera real quick. When I work on the bigger stuff, I have to pull back real quick. Yeah, it's a sharper blade. I need to sharpen that other one. From there, pull your jacket back, right? Then what you'll do is you'll slide the body of this connector on right here. Do I got another one? Let me see if I got another one that's taken out of the package real quick. We're gonna show y'all how to do maybe. Yeah, I don't have one right here. I'll show you, it ain't the end of the world. I'll grab a... You want to put some lubricant on the end of that O-ring right there. TikTok will be back in a minute. I just closed the task on it. I'll try to restart my live. We'll see how it goes. So let's minimize you guys. Let's close that out. Minimize for a second. Open the live studio back up. Yes. Pull up OBS back again. Make sure I hadn't glitched out my stuff. So again, this is my first time to Instagram Live, so I apologize if I'm not seeing what you guys got to say. I'm trying to figure it all out. What's up from the Netherlands? Hope you're doing well, man. 19RF 1653 1653. Hello, hello. All right, so hope you're doing well, BT. All right, so we got a little bit of O-ring on the inside right here. So now this right here is a little hard to slide over here because this is a little oblong. So what I do is I take the metal. Let me see if I can turn the camera this way. Bump you over here. We'll get TikTok back eventually. One of these days, these guys will get to hang out. For now, OBS is hanging out. All right. So we'll straighten out those edges. We'll pull this down over top of this body of that connector. Again, like I said, I'm just pulling against it just to straighten out, like flatten out those edges a little bit because it's just a hair oblong right now. I think I turned the camera enough where you guys can see. Slide it down over top of that connection, right? then what we'll do is inside this packaging right here, you will see this metal ring right here. You throw that metal ring on this connection right here. You flare this connection out right there. You push that all the way back up against the top right there. It seats against the top. That flange is made. You lock your connection down, you're good to go. That's how it works. That's how it works. If you guys got questions on stuff like that, feel free to ask. That's how she lines up. So physical measurements not super critical on this design because it's got a pretty decent margin of error the way it's got it set up. But if you needed a measurement in inches on this specific connector for this specific piece, let's go to zero that booger back out. Let's change it over to inches. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.73 inches or just under 3/4. If you went to 3/4, that would be just fine. It wouldn't hurt nothing. Just do 3/4 of an inch. You'll cut it back right there. Cut it into the jacket. Slide it down. Put your little metal ring on. Build your flange. Lock her on. You're good to go. That's how that one works. That's a 7/8 EIA connector on some 7/8 Coax. Let's bump your camera back over there. How can I continue the live from before? Let's see what happens. See if I can continue the live. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to try to continue the live and see what happens. Hard encoder unavailable. Okay, well, let's just, how about, let's just end the live. Now I can end it. Now I can start a new live and be done with that live. Sorry, TikTok's just deciding to, what do you call it, have a hissy. So now we're done with the little hissy fit that TikTok had and start another live with it. We'll be good to go. I'll zoom the camera out a little bit. Charge the battery now to keep, what battery's low? We're just low battery, we got it. So bump the camera just a smidge. Boom, boom, boom. I hope it's not got the wrong encoder, but who cares? If it does, then whatever. This one's done. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. The cool thing is I can show you the low friction coefficient of some RG400 and show you how that works. I got it now. Thanks. Have a blessed day. Hey, no problem. Appreciate you, man. What's up, man? Someone getting some 7/8 and some EIA flanges. Great way to go. Yeah, for sure. That fella from the Netherlands is getting some 7/8. He's gonna grab some and take it all the way back to the Netherlands. No. I met some cool people over there. I know some guys running some pirate radio stuff, which is kind of ambiguous over there, but still pretty cool. Cool to know about. Not saying that individual was, but there's some other guys that are. So throw a little bit of. Thanks for the likes. Appreciate you guys. If you don't mind, just tap the screen. That definitely helps me a lot on TikTok land. I don't know if it helps me on Instagram yet. I've yet to figure out much about Instagram. Up until yesterday, I had like 40 something people on Instagram. Even though I got like 8,000 sitting there on Facebook, I only had like 40 something on Instagram. So, hey, we'll see how it goes, I guess. All right, so it looks a little choppy on Instagram. So if you guys don't mind, just put just tell me on the screen and let me know if it's messing up over there too. All right, this is wrapped up. This is done. That's done. Let's go ahead and do another one. Let me ask real quick. Is the video choppy? I can't see comments. There we go. I figured out I can go live before 1,000 followers on TikTok, on Instagram, so that worked. I thought it told me somewhere in the rules that I had 1,000. I had to get built up to. So I asked in the comments for more guys to follow me, but I was wrong. Apparently, it worked. So I'm like, okay, cool, that works out good. But we're working on some RG400. Nobody's asked any key down questions, so I won't have to answer any of those just yet. We've lost 529 frames due to encoding lag. So let me know if we've got something messing up over there. I see the frame rate's down a little bit. I see it's a little choppy on one of the screens. It looks kind of choppy on that screen. I think it doubled up my encoders on... Hey, thanks for joining, Mr. Barron. I'm going to try to figure out... I think my encoder's messed up on my live right now. It used some other hardware encoder, which is the same encoder the other one's using. We'll see. Happy the dog walk at the dam. What's up, 305? Hope you done well. Let me know if the video's choppy on y'all guys' ends for sure. It's definitely telling me I got a low frame rate. I'm down to about 24 frames instead of 30 frames. So let me know if it's messing up on y'all's end. If it is, I will kill TikTok again, which as much as I like you guys at TikTok, I will restart the live if I have to fix the encoder. If you guys like me enough, then hopefully you guys will come back. What's up, Whiskey Man? I turned up the dB just for you on the mic. Let me know if it's good. I know you hadn't been complaining about it, and then I popped out a video the other day after swapping over to a live, like a regular live, and I changed the levels, and he's like, I can't hear it again. So let me know what it sounds like to you. H-Bomb waving a hand, man. Hope you're doing well. We're working on some Coax right now, but we can talk about some key downs if you guys want to know. Don't freak out. That's hilarious. I like that name. So, again, we're currently working on some RG400 right here. A lot of guys don't know about key downs. Some guys will know about Hamfest. Some guys will know about swap meets. Other guys don't know anything about that. They just know about car stuff. So if you guys got questions or would like to know, feel free to ask. I will try to make it transparent so I can talk to you guys. TikTok guys, let me know if the screen is laggy or if anything's kind of lower quality or anything, because it said a while ago that it was using the wrong, some sort of wrong encoder or some crap. So if it is, let me know. I think I'm gonna try to fix it anyway. Let's click settings. Settings, will it work? Nah, that didn't work. Okay. So, the problem with TikTok Live is that, hey, thanks for liking the video. I appreciate that. The problem with TikTok Live is it's not letting me update my settings. It said I could go into the settings menu and fix the encoder, but you told me 10.4, Pete, but you didn't tell me if it's good or not. Come on, Whiskey Man, you slacking over there. I gotta have some feedback over here. Nobody's telling me whether the live's choppy or anything like that, and nobody's letting me know whether or not the video quality's up. So if you guys wouldn't mind, please put in the comments, it's good, it's bad, it's choppy, or anything like that. Just tell me. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. It ain't gonna mess up my video. Worst case scenario, I just restart my live. So, if you don't mind, and you have a little bit of compassion in your heart, feel sorry for I wouldn't call myself specifically like a redneck per se, but I'm not super computer illiterate, but let's say this. Unexperienced streamer. Let's say that. Feel sorry for this unexperienced streamer and try to help me out, guys, if you don't mind. Copy, John. Thank you telling me it's looking good to you. Appreciate you letting me know. You guys are comments are appreciated for sure. Feedback is appreciated because whenever I see stuff on my screen that says I'm lagging out and stuff, that definitely makes me think it's messing up. So if it ain't, let me know. Thank you. Thank you. It looks like the encoder is like really rough on TikTok. Guys on TikTok, does it look like a hazy screen on you guys? I'm kind of curious. Usually it's like 4K at 30 frames normally, but I can only pass 1080p or something like that to you guys. I might need to bump it down to 1080p or something. Probably looking good there. Well, good to know then. It looks to me like back in the background, that solder roll in the back looks nice and blurry, where if you look on Facebook, it doesn't look quite as blurry. So I was just kind of curious. But thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. Good here too, crystal clear. Okay, cool. It's nothing but me. Cool. Hey, that's great to know, though. At least it's just my encoder on my stuff is going slow. So currently what I'm doing is I'm soldering up some sample line right now for RG400. I'm actually going to be building some jumpers and stuff too. If you guys copied this, you could put a PL259 on some RG400 coax right here. You can't put this type of temperature on like your RG8X or anything like that, so don't be trying to do that. If you guys got questions about this event that happened this past weekend, it's been less than a week, and I think we've got around... Actually, no, we've got over 1.5 million, I think people have seen it now. So out of the 1.5 million people who saw it, or 1.5 million views it got, I don't know how many exact people saw it. But let's just say close to 1 million, I guess, people saw it. Then feel free to ask questions. This whole page is dedicated to making RF easy to understand and easy to follow. That's literally how I built my page. I do tutorial videos. I show you guys how to do this stuff. I show you guys these custom events and stuff like that, and try to get you guys hyped up and ready to go to them and participate and build your own setup or something like that. Maybe go to a swap meet, maybe go to a ham fest, maybe join a local community that does radio. Whatever I do, if I can promote RF in any way, shape, fashion, or form, I'm going to do what I can to do it. If you guys have a local broadcast station you can volunteer at and stuff like that, we've got guys that volunteer at FM and AM broadcast stations that I've dealt with over the years. Other guys have volunteered at the shortwave broadcast stations and stuff. You can get to know a lot about the RF world when you join in on stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. That end's hot, so you got to be careful. Make sure you don't touch it too much. This one's designed to be a coax because I've got another end already put on it. So that's kind of how I label them. I label them by what's on there. All right, looks like my frame rate's crashing out, guys. Let me know. I'm seeing it on Facebook. It looks like it's crashing out to like 13 frames per second. So if it's crashing, let me know, please. It looks like I'm only losing 2 frames due to rendering lag and 2% of frames due to encoding lag. But hey, if it's happening, it would be cool to know. You know, like when you're in like a spaceship or something like that, or you're in like a cockpit of an airplane, or you're in some super fast race car or something like that, and then every screen in the car is just blinking red at you, and you're like, oh no, this is terrible. And all it is like you didn't turn a fuel pump on or some random something. Well, that's kind of might be what's happening right now. I don't know, but I see big red flashing screen right now. So I don't know. I have no clue what's going on. You guys would love my little setup if you saw it. It's a little Legion, what is it? Lenovo Legion Go. It's just a little bitty 7-inch laptop. I've got a much bigger laptop that I could use if I needed to. And that thing is set up to run all my streaming. I can run TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I can run X and Twitch on it too. So I've got all kinds of stuff running on that thing, and it's pretty cool. This is my first time. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you liking my content. I appreciate you commenting on here. Thank you for hanging out. This is my first time going live on Instagram. So if you guys have never seen what I do, I make tons of videos like this. I do make key down videos. They're not quite as common. They're about, I should be making 1, 2, 3, at least 3 or 4 more this year. I'll be making of key down videos. Maybe 5, actually. 5 more key down videos this year. 1 ham fest and 2 swap meets. And then I can't remember what else. We'll see. We'll see how it goes this year. Looks like I said, it looks like my frame rate's cashing out. So if you guys are seeing anything that's a problem, let me know. But we'll keep talking about this stuff and have some fun until it just dies. All right, so we got commentary. Okay, cool, we're good. Let's see. So this right here is just a bunch of RG400 that I've got to get built for a bunch of different orders. So I'm just doing a bunch of them all in a row, simply so that I can do something repeatable that you guys can follow. And then also so I can get a little bit more accomplished for my normal work. Like I said before, this is outside of my normal working hours. So I'm going to do whatever I can to kind of get caught up. I'm not really getting caught up in order, just because, like I said, I'm working extra hours to do this, so I'm going to do whatever I can to kind of relieve the burden of the regular work week. I may get into doing some 7/8s here shortly, so if you guys would like to see some more 7/8s, that bigger coax in a minute, I'll bring it back over here. Thank you, Lumberjack. Appreciate the feedback, man. Farty, if you don't mind, feel free to give me some feedback too over on your end. If it's chopping out or messing up, let me know. Apparently Instagram doesn't tell me how many people's on my Instagram, nor does it tell me how many. Oh, okay, it says, okay, that's cool. It does tell me how many people's on my Instagram. I mean, that'll be fine. I ain't that worried about it. We'll see how it goes with people hopping in and out of here. Instagram, like I said, is not my my first platform by any means. But hey, if 900,000 people decide they want to watch a video of mine, then I'm going to try to accommodate them. So far, my single most viewed video is Instagram. TikTok has got second place at like 683,000, and Facebook has got third place at like 380 or something thousand. Technically, TikTok has second and third place too, and Facebook's got fourth. Facebook has, I have significantly more followers on Facebook, but I think the algorithm for Instagram and all that stuff might be a little different, and same thing with TikTok. So I appreciate every one of you, no matter what platform you're on. If you like what I'm doing, if you enjoy the videos, feel free to tap the screen, like the video. It is very appreciated. If you really, really like it, share it with your friends. And if you like me a ton and want to see more of my content, just follow me or subscribe. YouTube, it's kind of been a slow growth for me. I think I've got like 600 or 700 something people on YouTube. For niche content, I don't think 8,000 is a really bad number for Facebook. I wasn't really expecting to have a ton of people on there, just because the community is kind of large, but I don't know, not all of them are internet savvy and stuff like that. I think the maximum potential for my business, if I had every single person on the planet that's an operator, I think would be around 3 million. That's the most people I could possibly have on there. So I think a 10-year goal or something like that, it's 30,000 would be fine. If somehow I change the game up and get a bunch of other people interested in it, that would be wonderful, and then I could get more people. It's not really about the people that's following me, though. It's about the content that's being shared. Hopefully I continue to make it good and you guys end up liking it. Like I said, I'm soldering on some RG400. If you guys want to learn how to solder, then by all means ask me and I will zoom in on this video, because all I'm doing is talking about key downs and bumping my gums anyway. So let's bump this camera down just a smidge so you guys can see me solder on TikTok. 4 vehicle, that is. All right, hang on. Sorry, Tyler. I saw your comments too late. 4 vehicle, that is. Coax suggestions for UHF up to 30 foot. I'd say RG400 at low power. It would be pretty good. It's still doing great. Yeah, RG400 at low power is what I would recommend. All right. Instagram, is the video choppy? I know I got a couple of you guys in here, nothing crazy. A lot more people on the other platforms, but Instagram, is this video choppy? It would be nice to know. If you guys can tell me that, that'd be great. It's kind of, like I said, the first time I've ever used Instagram for live videos. So I'm kind of looking for feedback on my off day doing this work. RG400 is UV rated. Yes, it is rated for outdoor use. It is UV. Its UV strength is high for the jacket. It's a FEP, fluorinated ethylene propylene, which is very high on UV strength. So you're good to go. You can put it out in the weather and it'll be fine. As far as like in the sun, that is. As far as outdoor mounting and stuff like that, the jacket is not necessarily, not the jacket, but the terminations are not necessarily sealed super well. Neither is any real small coax, so I would change it out kind of pretty regular, once every couple of years or something like that. I do seal it the best way I can by soldering all these connections and stuff, but hey, there's always something to be had there, something to be desired there, let's say it that way. If you mount it in a vertical position, there's very little water ingress that could happen, because this is sealed, that's sealed. The only where it could come in would be possibly backwards right there, possibly backwards right there, up in the upper end of that connection right there. All right, so let's clean this booger up. Thank you guys on Facebook and YouTube, and really, I mean, thank you everybody for watching this stuff. One of them to the other. I have some solid. I have some RG400 on my SAT antenna on the truck. The LMR 240 on the line of SAT antenna now. I'm not a huge fan of 240, just being honest with you. So I would recommend 400 over 240. But no, it's not required. If it's working good, don't worry about it. You can do you can go as far as a PIM test on it if you really wanted to, or you can just do it, get a nice little single port VNA, like your little analyzers, and check it and just see how it's reading. If it's reading good, very little counterpoise issues, and not a lot of common mode going on, then I wouldn't worry too much about it. The way you test for common mode is if you have a single port VNA, you'll touch the connection and you'll see if it massively changes SWR by just you grounding one portion of the antenna, or you becoming part of the tuned antenna network, that is. If it fluctuates a bunch from that, then you may change your counterpoise, or you may change your feed line and see if that will fix the rest of your issues. Enritsu, I can tell. Yeah, throw the Enritsu on it. That won't hurt nothing. So try to run that test that I was talking about, and that probably wouldn't hurt. I love RG400. I'm a big fan just because it's got a low friction coefficient. But if you already got some coax and stuff run, it doesn't really, it's not a big deal one way or the other. Facebook guys, if you guys don't mind, let me know how the video quality is. Let me know if it's up to its normal snuff, or see if it's falling out. And we can kind of go from there. I'm kind of curious. It still says I've got 3 frames being lost. Like I'm supposed to have 30 frames per second, and I've only got 27. So if it's choppy or messing up the video, Facebook, please let me know. Now, you guys might just be extra forgiving or something. I don't really know, but we'll see. I'll have to go back and watch these lives later and see if they were jacking up. No matter what, I appreciate you guys watching. If anybody has any questions about the key downs they just saw, I don't know if everybody in here would have seen a key down or not, but there was, like I said, between in the past 2 days, there's been about 1.5 million of y'all. Or at least 1.5 million views, that is. We'll see how many people that actually will correlates to or not. But if you guys got questions about it, feel free to ask. I don't mind answering, but I'm not going to force the conversation towards something unless you guys want to know. I'll pop out some 7/8 hardline in a minute. If you guys would like to see that stuff, put in the comments, move to 7/8. Or just say 7/8. I don't care. This is 7/8 hardline. This is what it looks like. It's a lot bigger coax. If you guys would like to see me work on it, definitely put in the comments that you'd like to see me work on that stuff. Thanks for the likes, guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, still got guys trying to figure out on Instagram, what the heck is this? All right. Tell them they need to click the live video and see what's going on. All right, Facebook guys, screwing up a little bit and stops and goes. Okay, thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. So, cool. So, you guys on TikTok, don't get mad at me. Come back here shortly. Give me just a little bit. I'm going to close out TikTok and I'm going to reopen it, okay? Just join my live again and check it out. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll be back shortly. Don't get mad at me. It's D-Wins RF Supply. You should be able to find me back if you just search me up. D-Wins RF Supply. I'll be back. So I ended my live on TikTok. Now we'll see if we get all our frame rate back. So if you guys don't mind, take an eyeball at that and just look at it for the next, 30 seconds to a minute. I'm going to close out TikTok live altogether and see if all my stuff starts going back to working. Because I have 5% of my frames were skipped due to encoding lag and 3.9 were due to rendering lag. Now it says I'm back to 30% or 30 frames per second. Look, if you guys are ignorant, I'm just going to be fair with you. If you guys are ignorant on my comments and stuff, then I'm going to absolutely make sure that you are not commenting anymore. Let's just say it that way. So don't be stupid. Undo. Most recent. Goodbye. Sorry. So just don't be stupid. Looks like my rendering's all getting fixed up from there. Where average time to render frame is 4.4 seconds. What's up, Chuck? We are working on some after hours work right now. I'm doing some RG400. I'm getting a bunch of this stuff built so that I can hopefully not be so ridiculously tied up when it comes to Monday work coming up. Tony, if you don't mind, give me a little bit of feedback now. I thank you very much for your comment. It is super helpful because otherwise I would have never known that my videos messed up. It looks like it's perfectly fine on TikTok now, on Instagram now. So now we can go back and do our stuff. Thank you. Appreciate that. So it was trying to share the encoder on TikTok, and I just killed the TikTok video. Now, to be fair, that's kind of being mean because those guys actually are doing better than Facebook right now for my video. I think I've got, it's the only one still growing. I think I've got, well, Instagram's still growing too. TikTok from 331, it gained 1,000 viewers. Instagram went from, I don't know, it might still be staying steady at 938. We'll see if Instagram breaks 1 million or not. I don't know. In 2 days, though, we got 938,000. Between Facebook and Instagram, we got 1.2 million. So that's pretty cool. And 1.5 million if we count TikTok, too. So pretty sweet. That, and you guys thought that the RF community was slacking over there. We'll have to replenish them with these guys and get them going. So hopefully we'll get more people interested in the hobby. I've got a bunch of guys on Instagram that said this stuff is pretty cool. So I really do hope that that inspires some more guys to get into radio in whatever form. I don't care if you get in the HF community, join the amateur guys. If you get in the CB community, join the CB guys. I just want you part of the community. Don't belittle somebody else. Don't be a jerk just because you think your group's better than other groups. If you want to join in at the broadcast stuff and volunteer at one of those FM or AM broadcast stations, do it, man. I just want to support any and all areas of the RF community. If we can keep it going, then that'd be great. How you doing, Chuck? So I'm working on some Coax right now, but I can work on anything else. Like I said, if you guys would like to see me working on some 7/8s, I'll work on some 7/8s. If you guys would like to see me work on some, I think I got some 1/2 inch over there. I can work on some 1/2 inch. All the stuff can be worked on. I actually got some 1/2 inch over here now that I need to work on, so I may go ahead and do that because that needs to go out. I'm going to try to get it to go out today. It'll mess up my video for a minute, but it'd be aight. Hello, Jersey. Hope you're doing well, man. Okay. So we're just bonding the solder to this. Make sure you get enough heat to where it wicks into place. If you guys haven't seen enough videos on me showing you how to wick solder, pop out a question, say, will you show me how to wick solder, and I'll show you guys how that works too. Look, I've got to do all this work regardless. Whatever you guys would like to see just changes what I'm working on, but I've got to do the work no matter what, one way or the other. So might as well cater to you guys, whatever you guys want to see. What's up, Jose? What's up, man? So we're working on some RG400 right now. This is my off day right now. I'm working on whatever I can to kind of move the projects along. I'm not really doing everything in order, but I'm just doing it in whatever way that I can to help out, because right now it's looking like I'm close to on schedule, but probably close to a week behind right now on my normal wait time. I try to quote as best I can, but if I do this work today, then some of my orders might be delayed slightly, but most all of my orders won't be, based off of putting in the extra work right now. I am doing what I can, best I can, to make everything go as quick as possible. Jose's got something cool he can see. Give me a second, Jose. I'll show you. If anybody hasn't seen them before, then I will let you guys kind of get an eyeball on them. If you guys have ever missed or haven't seen, this is what the new digital meters look like right here. This is what a new analog meter setup looks like right here. Analogs are not new, of course. The digitals are new. Got some cool little projects underway. If you guys haven't seen them before, that's a little bit of what they look like. All right, that one's prepped. Now, how many more do I got to do? They're over here. So I got several of those prepped right here. I've got more to do. What do you guys want to see? You want to see some 7/8s? Do y'all want to see some... It'll be a little bit to see some 218. But hey, we might... That's funny. I like that one. So I'll grab some more. If you guys would like to see the 7/8s next, I can show you guys the 7/8s. If you guys would like to see the some more 400, I'll show you some more 400. If you guys don't say anything, I'll just keep working on 400 for a little bit, just because I got a little pile of them to knock out. Oh, actually, no. We're going to pause the content just for a second. This one's all finished. Let me grab real quick one other thing. I've got something somewhere. Got to figure out where it's at. So I need something real quick. If you guys are not familiar with some of the stuff I do, by all means, let's talk about it. If you haven't heard of the next event coming up, I'd be happy to tell you about it too. No problem. Sounds great, man. Just give me a shout anytime. What kind of solder do I use? I use Kester solder. Also, I use 6040 or 6337. Either one of those is the wire that I like to use pretty regular. It's my favorite stuff. Oh my gosh. Look. Guess what? Goodbye. Look, I don't mean to be mean to people, but somebody decides to be stupid and doesn't understand correlations and stuff. There's a couple dumb people that's you enjoy your shenanigans somewhere else there, buddy. So I have had a lot of new followers come in, but then I've also had a lot of people weed themselves out. If you are just going to be a jerk in my comments, and that's just what you choose to do, and that's how you want to live your life, you will just have to be a jerk somewhere else, because you're not going to do it in my comments. The whole point of me making the RF supply the way I do is so that I can support an RF community of people, and not so that I can have to deal with just a bunch of people who are buttholes. And that's just the only way I can explain that. Like, if you just cannot be a decent human being, and you just have to say something rude and negative and disrespectful and just absolutely off the wall, then I'm just going to be honest with you. If you didn't know already, you're probably going to be gone. You're not going to see my content anymore. And that's just how it goes. Be a decent human being. Don't be a jerk. Allow other people to have a hobby. If you, like, say, I got a lot of amateur guys that follow me, and this is a statement that I'm going to say now. I've got a lot of amateur guys, and I got a lot of CB guys. If you are an amateur and you want to be a jerk to a CB guy just because they're a CB guy, and you want to say, oh, you're doing this against the rules, you're doing this against the rules, you're doing this wrong, whatever. There is literally thousands of ham operators I know on 80 meter that are, when it comes to contesting days, they are not legal limit. So leave it alone. We're not having a conversation about that. We're not doing that. We're not going down that route. I'm supporting the RF community across the board, and that's just how I want to do and set up my page. If you don't like that, and you want there to be some sort of government overreach in every area of your life, you go ahead and make your own page, and you go ahead and start spreading that to all your friends and all the people that's in your group. If you're on my page, I don't want to hear none of that junk. I support everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the daggum pirate radio stations over in the Netherlands. I like those guys. They're cool. They've got a purpose and a reason for doing what they're doing. Leave them alone. Who cares? You watch Street Outlaws on TV or something like that. You're not sitting there calling the law on those guys when they shut the street down. Like, leave it alone. Like, there's some areas in life government overreach is okay, or government involvement is okay, but government overreach in any area, like, no, just self-regulation, buddies. Self-regulation. All right, so that's my rant. I'm not going to talk about that no more. That's the last time you'll really hear me talk about that stuff in the live, or at least for quite some time. I say this after my, anytime I get a video that goes popular, I try to tell people, don't be stupid, and you can stay on my page and hang out. If you're stupid, you got to go. Zero reason for people to make comments they make. Yeah, for sure. That's pretty much how it goes. All right, the next event, not break, but the next event is going to be, I guess they are calling it a break, I think. It's the Low Country Mud Duck event. It's going to be over in Walterboro, South Carolina. That's going to be the 24th of April. The next event after that is going to be Hamvention in Dayton, Ohio. That'll be a ham fest. Next event after, and these are all events that I should be going to if everything goes well. I don't think there's anything holding me up from going to any of these. And West Palm Beach is the next one after that. That's going to be on Memorial Day weekend in West Palm Beach in Florida. So anybody who wants to talk about that stuff, by all means, let's talk about it. Alrighty. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's like I said, that's my rant. I'm not gonna warn people over and over and over again not to be a jerk. Like, if you're just a jerk and you just have to be a jerk no matter what in the comments when you see something you don't like, rather than just shake your head and move on, then you're gonna do it again. So I'm sorry. There's no warnings to that. It's just I've commented a few times on my lives whenever the videos got popular. With some people who just they were gone, but they weren't didn't look like they were too far gone, right? And some of them have backed off, but the majority of them, when they make a comment stupid like that, they'll double down. Even if they're proven wrong, they'll double down and they'll say something else even more stupid, or they'll change the subject to something else that they think they're still right about, rather than concede, oh, I was wrong in that area. No, they'll just try to make another argument. So needless to say, those guys will find themselves looking for more content somewhere else. That's just how it's going to work. They will not find themselves on my page anymore. I am working on some 1/2-inch flex right there. This is a 7/16 DIN connector right here. If you guys are not familiar, this is the next stage up from, like, if you have a PL259. Your PL259 is your regular UHF connector. You'll see it right here. You can put it next to a 7/16 DIN, and there's a bit of a difference. The main reason I like it is because of this O-ring seal right here. There's another O-ring seal right here, and that's not really an O-ring per se. That's just a rubberized seal, whatever. It's made of the same material the O-ring is, and there's another O-ring seal right here. So this is sealed for outdoor use. So I'm a big fan of that. So you can use this coax pretty much anywhere you want. Also, it is direct bury capable. All of your Helix jackets are capable of being buried. All right. I'm going to move this over here because I put you guys in a good spot, which is perfectly fine. Y'all guys can hang out. But I'm not going to call somebody out when they are being stupid in my comments and put you guys directly in that line of sight where you can find their page and talk junk to them. Like, once I eliminate them from my page, I could care less about them. I'm not worried about it. Don't worry about chasing them down or messing with them or nothing like that. Like I don't think I've got any haters. I'm pretty positive I don't have anybody that hates me. If I do, I apologize. If I've done anything to offend you, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to foster a good community in the RF world. If you want to say something that doesn't pertain to RF, then I'm going to give you a warning and kind of move on from there too. If you want to decide to be a jerk, then I'm going to get rid of you. Like, I don't consider that an enemy. I consider that just somebody who just doesn't care for the hobby. And that's fine. You don't have to care for the hobby. But you also don't have to be a part of it. Alright, so not like the 1980s Coax. Yeah, it's different, kind of, but now Helix has been around for a little while, so it's hard to say for sure. So I've been having a little bit of issue here lately with the connector. I'm pretty sure that was my last one that was like that, but for some reason it's wanting to catch the wrong way. It's just a specific series of connectors. So I'm going to cut this and redo that so I don't have to deal with it no more. So what happens is it needs to bite, but instead of biting, it kind of just jacks up the threads. I've put a bunch of these on, and it works just fine. But there's a couple of these that I own now that are just not, it's not where it's at. Let's just say it that way. They ain't G-hauling. That might be why they remade them. But luckily for you guys, I own a boatload of connectors. I think I'm up to probably 500 or 600 different connectors, if not closer to 1,000. So I don't really care. I'm just gonna move on and put another connector on. I don't put myself in a position where I have to worry too much about problems. I just roll with it and keep going. All right. Instagram is doing whatever Instagram's doing. Looks like we got 0 latency. Thank you very much. I appreciate the accolades very much. Anybody who buys a connector from me, I will not be shipping you those connectors that are a problem. I'm going to be shipping you the connectors that I know that are working. I just tested one out the other day and it did the same problem. So this is how I know that those connectors specifically are an issue. So we'll move on. What kind of base antennas do I use? Depends on the frequency. If you're looking for some regular just CB stuff, there's a couple different good ones out there. Colossal makes some, Cooley makes some. If you want to go cheaper, then you can get into like Serio and stuff like that. They're pretty cheap and do a good job. If you're looking for some HF kind of stuff up in the amateur bands, just depends on what you want to go. There's a couple different good companies out there, M Squared being one of them. Innov antennas are another good one out of Europe. Again, those are amateur, mostly used for amateur use. If you have, I think GXP is also another good one for amateur use. But for CB use, it's going to be like a Mako antenna for like a beam. It'll be like a Serio antenna for like a pretty decent ground plane. And then if you want to go the nicer ones, it's going to be Colossal, Cooley, or Shockwave. Mostly Colossal and Cooley. I think Shockwave is currently maybe out of production. I'd really have to look into that. I'm not sure the story of how that's going right now. All right. You guys can see pretty good even when I move this way, right? Yeah, we're good. I just needed to make sure I wasn't knocking you guys out of the shot. We got plenty of extra there. So we got 21. Let's do. Let's see if I was giving myself any sort of problems. Am I going a little light? Who knows? It could have been me. So we'll test this one according to spec. I'll have to break back into those other connectors here in a little while. once I get on some more 1/2-inch flex, and then I'll do some more research. I'm always trying to improve my own technique whenever I'm building stuff, so if I can make sure that I don't have any mistakes or problems, then I'm going to try my best to do that. All right. So you want to put your, this is more like dielectric grease, but it works like a lubricant compound for your O-rings. Just they slide and go on, do a good job. I apply them to this O-ring right here also, just so I don't have to deal with it binding and bunching up. I like to thread backwards to get my threads ready to line up. It threads down nice and smooth, and then we'll see how this goes. Perfectly fine, works absolute wonders. That could be just because the slight modification I did, or it could be the connector itself. So I'll try that other connector at some point in time when I get an opportunity, and then we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So now all we got to do is take this little booger right here and do a lopping off the edge. Yeah, 7/16 din. I'm a big fan. I like 7/16 din. I had a little bit of trouble with that end. If you wasn't in here a while ago, Terry, it was an older style connector. It could have been something I did. We'll see in just a little bit. Somebody said, I know where all the 98 to 2000 Suburbans are going. That's funny. No, you got older than that. They'll be going over there too. All right, so this one is actually going to a pretty cool thing. This is actually going out of the country, this coax right here. So I'm pretty stoked about that. That's pretty cool. I've shipped two other things out of the country. So I'm always super grateful to get international orders. That stuff is awesome. I think it just shows how supportive and cool you guys are. To order outside the U.S., so that's very cool. All right. I'm kind of cheating. If you guys didn't see what I just did, I just saved the zip tie for no reason. I don't really know why I just saved that thing, but I got like 1,000 more, so I usually just cut them. But I got these big zip ties that I use on some of my big coaxes, and I've been reusing them. So here I am, taking them apart and putting them on, taking them apart, putting them on. So I've gotten in the habit of saving zip ties for some reason. So it's kind of weird, but whatever. All right, that is one velocity factor 1/2-inch flex. There's two velocity factor 1/2-inch flex, and those have to go out of the country. So that'll be pretty cool. Those are getting gone to a customer. Hopefully he enjoys them. I'm getting a lot accomplished, so I'm happy for that. There's always more to get accomplished, always stuff that didn't get done. Like I got to ship a meter to somebody. Unfortunately, the poor guy had it lost in shipping. I've shipped it, I don't know, almost a month ago. So I put in for insurance on it, and everything luckily got covered, even though it was obvious that it got lost by them. There was nothing really they could say. But you never know with how many things they make you fill out for that junk. Let me bump this camera back over that way just a smidge so you guys can keep watching. But yeah, it's definitely a different world over there. Alrighty, guys. You guys got questions, feel free to ask. Let's talk about key downs. Let's talk about coax. Let's talk about something. I can jabber for a while, but when it gets, I mean, we get a little bit into this, it's I'm not. I start running out of stuff to talk about. Thanks for your question, Stephen. Appreciate you, man. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to do these over here. I got more to do. So we've done well. I think our render time is everyone. Guy with the unobtainium. Yeah, I got a bunch of different unobtainium. I got 1 1/4 there, Terry. A lot of guys don't know that, but I got 1 1/4 too. All right, so I like to have some unobtainium. I'll try to keep a hold of it. I've got I think I saw my original bird movement. It's a dual meter movement, all in one housing with a dual line section in the back. That was pretty cool. What you got, St. Thomas? I'll help you there, buddy. Go ahead. See ya. All right. Sorry, guys. I've had. I don't really get like particular with stuff, but I've definitely gotten a little bit more liberal with the band hammer. So, if you guys can't, like I said before, if you can't be a decent person, then you got to go. And when it comes to viral videos, you invite a bunch of, it's like inviting a ton of people you don't know to a party, right? You say, everybody come one, come all, come to my party. But your party, instead of being like some big block party, it's a fancy high class party with like, I don't know, records playing and classical music and whatever. Everybody's serving drinks from waiters and all kinds of stuff like that. But all everybody else knows about that's been invited is it's a party, right? So you get some guys that will do a little bit of research and look into it and be like, oh, okay, cool, this is the type of party I'm going to dress for the occasion. And you get other guys that says, no, forget that. They said it's a party. I'm going to make it a party. And here they are. They're showing up, acting wild, acting a fool, and doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, the only solution in that scenario is to kick the people out who are not trying to, unless you want to change your whole event, or who are not trying to respect the event that's happening. So that's the way I see the viral videos. It invites a ton of people to come see my content, and for the guys that appreciate it, for the guys that take the time to learn about it, for the guys that really care about it, they can stay, they can have fun, they can enjoy it. I'm super happy that they're here. I'm grateful that more people are following and stuff like that. But for the guys that just want to act a fool and just act crazy and just think that it's their bedroom and they can do whatever the heck they want, and they can tear stuff up, break stuff, be rude, be disrespectful, and just offend everybody. No, I'm sorry. Like, you get kicked out of the party. That's how it works. So that's how it's been with every single viral video. I think it's the rule works out to be about 1%. I think it's more like a tenth of a percent really is what I think the number actually works out to be. But I would say at least maybe 1% of the people out there decide to be rude, disrespectful, uncourteous, or just downright just hateful, right? And the way I see it is, if there's at least 100 or 1,000 other good ones for that one person who's just absolutely hateful, I've tried multiple times. I've given warnings, I've done things, I've said things, I've been nice, I've did all kinds of stuff, but pretty much I would say at least 99% of the time, the guys that start out with rude content, start out with rude comments, start out with rude and disrespectful statements, most of the time they double down. pretty much every time they double down. And I've tried, I would say probably about 100, 150 times over the course of the different viral videos that I've done to try to redeem people who are just too far gone, right? They're just rude, they're disrespectful, they just go way too far. And almost every time they just kept going too far. They just kept pushing it until I just decided to make sure they couldn't have any comments no more. All right, so that is my little bit of, I guess that's my TED talk. That's about how it goes. Next events, like I said, are coming up. It's going to be Walterboro, South Carolina. That's at the end of the month. 2 weeks after that should be Dayton, and 2 weeks after that should be West Palm Beach. I'll be having some new content coming out in the mornings time. No, dude. The Honor Junior, at any point in time, if you got a question, I don't care if it's been answered 100 times before, ask it. Like, I really, truly appreciate you guys. I'll continue talking about this other stuff later, but it's important. When somebody says something, yeah, copy the demanding respect. I appreciate it for sure. Appreciate the accolades. I hope you're not repeating a question. What's your recommended coax in a mobile CB application with a little bit more than standard power? I've used RG400, but the clear jacket okay to run to the antenna? Yes, the clear jacket's fine to run to the antenna. The only problem I have is the type of termination that it runs. It's not quite weatherproof. Neither is any of the crimp connectors or anything like that. I like to use connectors with an O-ring seal when I'm mounting them to outdoor weather stuff. Outdoor weather applications, if I plan on leaving it in that location for a long period of time. Now, if I'm okay with spending a little bit more money and changing it out pretty regular, about once every 2 years, absolutely, run it all the time, no problems whatsoever. If you're comparing it to RG8X, absolutely, it's better no matter what, because it's the same type of termination. If you're comparing it to, say, like half-inch flex, no, there's a big difference there. This has got a weatherproof jacket. This has got a weatherproof connector. It's designed for outdoor use. It can be direct bury rated and stuff like that, but it's not super practical for a personal vehicle because it has to make sharp bends and corners and stuff like that, and you got to keep it hidden behind the panels. So I would say RG400 is a good choice. If you're mounting to a puck, which is inside the vehicle itself at all times, I would use RG400 indefinitely. If you're mounting to an external application, I would probably use RG400 for about 2 years, and then I would replace it. Maybe 3 years. You could also put it on an analyzer and test it and see if it has changed or degraded in its impedance in any way, or degraded in its impedance in any way. If it has, then replace it. If it hasn't, then keep running it. Not everybody's got an analyzer on hand, so that's why it's like changing the oil in your car. You want to do preventative maintenance, not maintenance after something blows up. So the goal is to keep it changed out pretty regular, unless you have equipment to be able to run tests on it and see if it's working good after 2 years. If it's still working good and it doesn't look like it's got any stress on it, doesn't look like it's been damaged in any way, doesn't look like it's had repeated bends over and over and over again, making a connection weak, then by all means run it for longer. But if you want to be extra safe, change it out once every 2 years. But I would still recommend it over RG8X. It's good coax. Not all RG8X, but most RG8X. All right, more questions are appreciated. If you guys want to know, want me to finish about what I was talking about the next upcoming events, I'll be happy to tell you guys about them. If you guys want to know about those events and have not joined the group yet, I have a group on Facebook. It's called DWIN CB Events, Key Downs, and Swap Meets. And then I have a DWIN's Amateur Radio Events, Hamfest, and so I forgot the name of that one. I named it all kinds of stuff because it encompasses everything to do with amateur radio. But I kind of bundled the CB stuff, the CB name all together with the Key Downs and the Swap Fest and stuff, just because it's just easier to bundle it. I don't want to make 4 different groups. I just make a couple of groups. Any more questions are appreciated. You guys feel free to say anything you like, holler at me, and do whatever you want to say, or ask whatever you want. Your questions are not stupid. They're not bad. They're not wrong. Anything you got to say, it's not going to hurt my feelings to answer it at all. So Facebook, YouTube, come on with it. Whatever you got, as long as it's RF related. Listen, let me hang on. Let me rephrase my statement. If you have an RF related question, feel free to come on with it. If it's something random, something weird, just keep it to yourself. We don't go that direction. All right. So I'm working on another RG400 right here. I can go ahead and break away and work on some 7/8 hardline here in just a little bit. If you guys would like to see that, pop in the comments, say you'd like to see the bigger stuff. I showed you guys some 1/2 inch flex, so I can show you guys some 7/8 hardline if you'd like to see me work on some of that. I've got it over there in a bin, so if you guys would like to see it, by all means, pop in the comments and say, please, let me see that. All right. If you're okay seeing the small stuff, then I will assume you're okay seeing it, and you're going to stay, you're not going to comment nothing. But if you want me to change, then ask, and I'll be happy to show you. Because I got to work on it anyway. It don't make no difference to me. It might take me a second to set it up, but I've got one, I don't know how many more I got left. I'll have to count them. But I got a few more of these RG400s to do too. But doing this today is going to help me on my regular schedule, because this is not my work schedule right now. I'm doing this after hours. I don't work on Saturdays. I work Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays in the evening times. That's my schedule. You'll see it on Facebook. I don't know if you'll see it on TikTok or YouTube, but that's my schedule. Most of my orders come from Facebook anyway. That's you guys on TikTok and TikTok and Facebook are slacking. No, excuse me, TikTok and YouTube are slacking over there. I have a website. It's dwinsrfsupply.com. I can say that right now because I don't have my TikTok live video going. Whenever I have TikTok live going, it tries to give me a bunch of crap about having a website. But I do have a website. It's dwinsrfsupply.com. Less than 20% of my inventory is on there. So if there's something you want, something unique, always send me a message because I probably have it. Just got about 3,000 foot of RG316 in, so if anybody's looking for some RG316, I've got a bunch of that in right now. I may have some more in here shortly. If anybody wants some, let me know. Today was a PB&J day for me. I had some PB&Js. It's pretty good. It's amazing how simple life can be if you, we were prepping for Arkansas, and had to take the camper out because we were going to take the camper to Arkansas. So we camped at a local place for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. And my wife was apologizing to me. She's like, hey, I'm cooking burgers again. I'm sorry. I'm not cooking anything else. I'm like, man, I like the burgers. I ain't got no complaints here. But it's definitely interesting how you can kind of eat stuff over and over again. Then you're like, I kind of want something different now. I hadn't had a PB&J in a while, so I had me a PB&J earlier, and that was my my lunch today. All right, we're soldering the center conductor. We need to watch it connect and bond all the way around. I want her to look nice and pretty. So I'm gonna let her go, see what it looks like. Looking good. So next, we're gonna go ahead and get this shield right here. We're gonna add some heat to it, let it bubble up to that joint. It's not gonna suck in because it's not hot enough. I'd have to hold that iron on it for another minute or so. So what I do is I just add heat to it right here with this torch until it wicks into that joint. And when it wicks into that joint, I remove heat from it, and then I just use the regular soldering iron to maintain that level of heat after it's wicked in. So you guys can see. I think we'll go ahead and up the camera angle just so you guys can see what's going on. Zoom in as close as we can zoom in. I wish I could get a little bit closer, but the lens that I have on my camera is only so many millimeters. I think the higher millimeters is the closer shot. I think 70 millimeters is the lens that I have on there now. I don't know why I just did that, but maybe I just wanted to clean it up a little bit. All right, bind to the next one. You see I'm going to each hole. I'm making sure it wicks into that joint. If there's too much heat, what happens is all this solder that I'm building up will wick all the way to the very lowest point due to gravity. Everything will wick across all the way around this, all the way to the very bottom of this connection. That is the last thing that I want to do. I want to have it bonded on each connection. So I have to strictly regulate the temperature that's on here. Alrighty. Now this is good. Tidy that mess up right there. Make her look pretty. Let's go on to the next one. Let you guys see that a little zoomed in. Maybe you might like this new camera angle. We'll see how it goes. Actually, I'll zoom out. You guys are getting a little lazy, so I'm going to go ahead and work on some 7/8 hardline. So if you guys would like to see the bigger stuff, we're going to go ahead and do the bigger stuff. I could do some RG393, at least do one end, but I think I'll do some 7/8 just because I'm already here. Oh wow, that thing's been sitting. Holy crap. Let me look at this coax. This is, I don't know what this is. Give me just a second. Let me look at this spool. This is not the same spool as what I got. This is just another spool of something else. That's, I don't know what the heck this is. But it's okay. It's fine. I'll put it over here. Next, let's get some of the 7/8 out of here. Sorry, it took me, I got just a smidge sidetracked. Not too bad. Let me see this 7/8 coax and pull it out of here. Oh. Anybody who's, oh goodness, never seen 7/8, which you can't really say that because I just showed you 7/8 just a minute ago, but never seen like a full spool of 7/8. You're about to see it here shortly in just a moment. It's kind of heavy, so you gotta roll with it. Give me just a second to grab some ends for this so I can have it prepped and ready. So I need Okay. I've got a whole pile of these somewhere. Where did I put them all? There's 1, 2, right there. And I need a third one right there. And then I need one more. There's another one somewhere. Where would I have put it? Okay, cool. There's the other one. Okay. Anybody have any comments about this coax? I'll give you an idea of the size. You ready? Let me do this real quick. Just simply because I can. Well, this is a little much right here. I want to show you guys the end and let you see what it looks like. I'm pulling this off of here real quick. Sorry. I need some fingernails and I ain't got no fingernails. This is kind of where the guys are not keeping up with the ladies right there. Fingernails sometimes come in handy for some of this stuff. You can see this right here. Okay. That'd be pretty cool. Stay over there. Let's put it over here so you guys can see. It's got a little bit of more room it's taking up than the smaller stuff right here. So I'll put it down over here on the bench so you guys can kind of get an idea what's going on with it. So we're going to throw an end on this. So I had made a mistake when I was building these things, and now I've got a new solution that I can do that'll make my life a whole lot easier. This is the last coax I'm going to have to build like this, I believe. Not exactly like this. I mean, I'll have to build it still similar, but I'll have to a couple things changed up in the shot. Bump that down, bump it over, so you guys can see me working. So I got to cut that off of there. Throw that back down. Rotate this up. So you see what I'm doing? I'm trying to straighten that out. Rotate around. Now, bump this that way since I was able to get a little closer to the bench. Alright, so I don't know what's going on with Instagram. It just decided to die on me. So it's still there, but I don't know how it's working, to be honest. So if Instagram's broke, it's broke. It is what it is. I ain't gonna worry about it. Alright, guys, got questions. If you want to know about RF theory, you want to know about this coax, you want to know about this stuff like this, feel free to ask. Questions are appreciated. They are not frowned upon. Especially when you get bored and have been talking to yourself for an hour and 39 minutes. So, you guys feel free to talk. Set this right here so I got a record of my stuff. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so what I like to do whenever I'm doing this is I like to pick a high spot. So something like this will be fine. So I'm cheating on a step. If you guys have ever read the instruction manual, I'm skipping 2 steps by doing what I just did right there. First step is to cut a straight edge, or to cut an edge, and then second step is to cut the jacket back, and then to cut into the body, and then cut the edge with a hacksaw, kind of like this. If you look, it's kind of a rough edge the way it's set up, and it leaves a lot of residue. I'm not a fan. I don't like doing that. There's a tool for it. The tool kind of gets on my nerves a little bit too, so I kind of do my own thing. I talked to a tower, what do you call it, tower climber the other day, and he was kind of in agreements with me. Anything over a certain size on Coax, he does it by hand. It's the same thing for me. I do it all by hand just because I can, but that's what he does. Air compressor what? Use the blower? Well, is the blower not strong enough? Get that little blower. The little blower is in the camper. The little one. It might help you with it being so small. It's got a line on it, but it's not really that. There's another line somewhere else for that little handheld one, the pancake one or whatever. Not pancake, but whatever you want to call it. No. You see this pile over here? All those are half finished. That pile. Because I got more to do. And then these right here are done. These are going to out of country. Need to get those gone. The blue waters. And then I got those to finish. And then I'm finishing the 7/8 right here. And then I got to build some more split feeds. The split feeds is what's going to give me some trouble, but I probably won't be able to do that today. I'll try, but I probably won't be able to. In a box or something? Oh, cool. Yeah. Uh-oh. Do something a little less stressful, right?
Yeah, I'd rather crawl and bacon than creative again.
That's funny. Alright, what is this? Coax that I just got right here. Let me read. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And that one, and yeah, I'm good on all these. That's the right one. Oh, okay. There's Davey. Look, there's a whole instruction sheet for how this stuff works. I don't really need it, but I kind of like to look at it every once in a while. It shows you the hand tool you can use. It shows you the drill tool you can use. If you buy these connectors from me, then I will include these for you. Flying Squirrel, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out and checking out the live. Hope you're doing well, man. We are currently working on some 7/8 hardline. I've got to get some more cut on this jacket real quick. I always to follow, but they want me to cut afterward. There's nothing to show afterward. I ain't worried about none of that stuff. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and measure these real quick, see what I've got to work with. So I need to go back under the jacket this far and up on the center conductor all the way until this bottoms out. So actually, this is my perfect guide, I believe. So somewhere in between the body right there on those threads, something like that on the body of the coax. So let's take a look and see. That's on a good spot. I don't mind that at all, so I'll bump it down just a little lower. And then we'll go ahead and start cutting. So now I've got another tool that I can use to make a nice little mark on this jacket, but I'm gonna see how good I am. Spoiler alert, probably not so good. We'll see. At cutting a perfectly straight line all the way around this coax. So I'm also gonna have to jerk my head all around, all over the place. So bear with me for a second while I do so. This is not an RF specific task. It doesn't affect the RF at all. If I have the jacket cut just a smidge crooked, or if the jacket's cut perfectly straight. Although my own pride has got me trying to cut it straight. Now, the way I've seen it in life is God does find multiple opportunities to squash your pride. So this may be one of those days. I may have gotten it straight as far as like straight per se in its own given side, but across the whole entirety of the wire, looks like I'm a little off on the underside from what I'm seeing right here. Yep, it's a bit off on the underside. But again, luckily, that makes about a hill of beans. Or that doesn't make a hill of beans, excuse me. I don't know where that statement came from, but I use it a lot. Don't make a hill of beans, what you do. Something like that. Try to use it in context. It's amazing to learn the etymology of certain words and certain statements, like how the heck they came about. There were these certain beans that were on a hill. Alright, I was able to straighten it back out from my crooked cut. So now, if we look right here, got everything we need. This right here, it's O-ringed already. This right here, got our O-ring already. Look at our little instructions. Take a look real quick. Line that up, get it all set up. We're good, 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 good. There was something I was doing right here. I don't need that specific. Sparing one. But I already got that one. You're not using the O-ring in that one. We use the O-ring on this one. So this right here is just for the jacket. This right here is for the body. Okay, I got it. Never mind. Figured it out. Took me a second. That was embarrassingly slow for me. I normally don't have that trouble. But it took me a second to think about it because I was looking at the O-ring that was right here, trying to figure out why that other one was in place. But that's for the jacket. This is for the body. Alrighty then. We're getting it now. Looks like we have lost 0 frames since we did not bring TikTok back, but that's just because they were using a different encoder, not because TikTok's a problem. I'll be out here talking trash to those TikTok guys. I like TikTok. All right, so again, same concept as before that I was showing you guys on the other 7/8 connector. All right, so now when it comes to this one right here, you want to go counterclockwise, so I'm going to go clockwise to line it up. So if I see it, I'm going to turn this way. This is the right way. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a very large, if I've got it, thumb wrench, crescent wrench. See if this is big enough. It's going to be, what size are you going to go up to? 7/8 up to 34 millimeters, so just over 1.5 inches and something. So let's see what I got for size. I've got these if I need them, but my other ones should be right over here. So give me just a second to find it. Okie dokie, where? I'm not seeing them. I don't know where they're at. Might be blind, but definitely not seeing them. We'll use these since I don't know where my other ones are. What if this is big enough? This is 1 3/16 inches. I forgot I bought this one, to be honest. Now this is a smaller crescent. I don't think it's the right size. Yeah, this will work for all my smaller stuff, but I got a crescent just like this. Should be sitting right over here. I need to find out where it's at though. I love having tools, but every once in a while it gets annoying because you got to find them. And for my 1 5/8 and stuff like that, I'll use those. So these will be my backup plan if I can't find the other ones. But I would very much like to use the ones that I own for this purpose. Just because that's why I bought them. So give me just a minute. Not in there. So I'm going to get my butt up and take a look for just a moment. And there they are, sitting right there in front of me. Cool. This is where I am happy that the effort pays off sometimes. So this is my 6 inch. It'll go up a little over 1 inch in size. This is my 8 inch. It'll go up to about 1 3/8 inches. This is my 10 inch, and it should go up to whatever size I need it to go to, for these at least. It won't quite hit the 1 5/8, but it'll do it pretty good. So now, there's a 34 millimeter right there. All right, so now I need to look back at my little piece of paper. And there's something I hadn't done here in a minute. That's SFL, that's SFL. So we need to go this direction. Okay, so now I've got to build my flange. Straighten out my circle. So now I'm building my flange. If you guys are not familiar with that, that is the flare that you're building on the end of your coax right there. Can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see. We're good. I was thinking for a second I would have been out the shot, but we'll be all right. Well, you're not. All right. Oh, I'm building it like I was building the other one. Give me just a second. I was supposed to cut that back 7 mil. I was being dumb. So if you ever looked at this one right here, I was building this like it was that other 7/8 CIA, but I'm dumb. I need to cut this back about, what is it? How many millimeters? Hey, whatever. It is what it is. This is what happens whenever you didn't. I sat there, I was too busy looking at the diagram thing because I was looking at something on the threaded on the jacket, and I was trying to get this thing threaded on very well. And I thought that would be pretty cool to show you guys how that's done, but because I was choosing to be dumb and not thinking, I screwed up and built a flange that's not supposed to be on there yet. So I'll use this end to bend that flange back over. And I'm gonna go old school just for a minute, just because I don't wanna have to redo twice. So I'll show you guys how I do this. Not worried about none of that. I'll just cut the jacket back a little bit. Actually, no, screw this. Let's just show you. This don't take but a second to show you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure this in with 7 mil. So we got how much overlap right here? Let's read. Does it show me though? I need an actual measurement. So on this right here, this is for the drill tool. I don't need the drill tool. I need the other paper, which is going to be over here, the hand tool. That's what was screwing me up because I didn't have the hand tool. So that's the positive stop. Oh, this is what I could have showed. What's his name too? But it's fine. It ain't no big deal. That's if I was to go to that one. So it's not the right one. So now I need to grab another one of these because there's 2 papers in here and I threw away the wrong paper like a dummy. All right, so let's read. Drill, trash. Don't need that. The drill tool, if you guys are not familiar, I'll show you guys in a minute. But hey, I'm not perfect by any means. I will figure out where I screwed up a lot faster sometimes. If you're using your hand tools, do they give me my measurements though? So yeah, 51 right there. I need to know how much positive pressure that hand tool right there. I think I measured it before. That's what I did. I thought I remembered. I know on the 1/2-inch flex it shows me how much to do, but on the 1/2-inch flex and the 1/2-inch hardline, but the 7/8 actually doesn't tell you. I thought that's interesting. Ain't that something? No, 2 inches right there. 2 inches cuts the jacket, and that's to cut into the jacket. That's to cut that piece off. Use the tool. You just have to measure, is all it is. So it's got a little tool, a little guide that you can use to do a little bit of deburr, but also you can use it to measure from there. But I have to measure. So the way I measure is going to be looking right here. So I'll take this tool right here. So I'm going to measure all the way until the end of this body right here, until it has positive connection to this piece right here, where it has full engagement. It's going to be around 11.6 mil. Then from there, I'll take basically 11.6 mil off of 6.4 mil. So that's going to put me at around 5 or 6 millimeters. So I need about 6 millimeters of engagement. So let's double check real quick. That's 11.6. This is 6.4. Then I go all the way down to the base right there. 13.34 right there. 13.34 all the way up to 6.94. 13.34 from 6.94. If they don't give me the instructions, I'll figure it out myself. 13.94. It's been a minute since I did a 7/8 CI. I've been doing a bunch, or 7/16 DIN. I've been doing a ton of 7/8 EIA and some LC connectors too. So this goes all the way down to 13 on the money, right? Zero that out again, check it one more time. 0.25, as it might have a slight taper on the inside, that'd be fine. 13 on the money, right? So we got 13 on the money. We're gonna turn that booger on. We're gonna measure all the way down to the first layer right here where it hits engagement. Minus 6.88. So 6 mil, pretty much. So 6 millimeters is what I'm gonna cut back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up to the first ridge, measure 6 millimeters back, and kind of go from there. So I've got to figure out where my high leading edge is. It's going to be right here. This is going to be where my flange starts right there. Then I need 6 millimeters above that for my initial cut. And this is the area where I screwed up just a moment ago, because I was considering it being a complete stop connector. 6 mil on the money, on the button. It's been a minute since I did this one, right, for sure. So high edge, leading edge, good to go. All right, so now from here, there's 2 cuts I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to use the tool to do both. I haven't showed you guys this method, but I'm gonna do it first and see how this works. So if I cut through that, that's gonna be a problem, but if I cut through this way, it'll be fine. Yeah, this will be fine. Now, if I mess up, luckily for me, I've got more than enough extra coax to start over. All right, let's take a look and see if we made a mistake. We'll see in just a moment. So I'm going to cut all the way through here. All right, we cut all the way through. So now, from here, let's pull this off, which pulls this whole center conductor out right there. Now, from here, I've got to go ahead and cut back. I can cut this back with another tool, but I'm going to try. Let's see if this is successful or not. So if I measure right here, I need to see if this hits 6 mils. So let's get our... This will not hit exactly 6 mils. So even if I cut it right here, it'll put me a little high on the leading edge. So if I cut this right here, which I will, I'm going to do it anyway just to see how good it cuts, because I've never tried this. I mean, it does all right, but that's cool. So all I got to do is cut this right here back to 6 mil. So I'll mark it real quick and we'll be good. Giving you guys a little mini roller coaster, but it's okay. Same for me. It's taking me a minute. So that looks like it's going to want more positive engagement than 6 mil. So let's see real quick and see if it's going to get more than that. So if this bottomed out and this flanged out all the way to here, I want it to flange all the way to there. This connection's going to end. Let's measure real quick. Where is my, where? My little caliper. Right here. So we measure from here to here. That's that same 13 mil we had earlier. Not worried about no. Whatever. And now this flange is going to seat right here, right into that connection right there. That's 10 mil of engagement, because there's no way that I'll be able to have that flange without that. It needs to be 10 millimeters. So let's take a look, see what we got. Looks like we're pretty dang close to where I need to be. So if I hit the flange right here, I need to be all the way seated into this flare. So if I'm all the way seated into that flare, it's going to be all the way up here. So let's zero that booger out. It's fun. It was seated close to the top of the flare, which is not. It's 10.4 mil. So now lock that into place. 10.4 mil. That is pretty awesome. So doing a little bit of measurement, I needed a little bit more engagement than I was measuring. I was being stupid for a second. But this is why I do these tests. This is why I measure, and then actually cut at the end. I wanted to do that other cut just to show you guys. But I'm glad that I did this, because it would have, you guys wouldn't have saw what happens when you screw a measurement up. So I could have, if I would have cut that other length, I would have had to cut this all over again. But because I wanted to screw around and just show y'all guys how that thing cuts without leaving residue, I kind of helped myself out. So that worked out really good. Very helpful to me. So now I'm gonna just get a little tool just to knock this leading edge in a little bit, because I don't want any sharp edges. So these are all curled over somewhat. I don't like how that feels. It's a little bit of an edge. I don't have to use this. I can use whatever. I can get a hammer. I can get whatever. I can do an outside deburr like they recommended to do. So I'll do that real quick. They used a different tool, but I'm going to use this tool right here just because I have it. So they used a little piece of sandpaper, and the problem with the sandpaper is it leaves savings. If I can help it and I'm smart, this won't leave any extra material. All right, inside edge is good. Piece of coax just fell in the background, but it doesn't really matter. So all we're doing is just cleaning up this edge. I would say probably wouldn't be super bad to have sandpaper on it. You just want to feel it all the way around. Just make sure nothing's sharp all the way around. You want to make sure you get nice positive engagement whenever it plugs in. And it does. Holy crap, that's great. Okay. Excellent grip. Grabs, does what it needs to do. So that's wonderful on that connector. So now I got to build the flange. So I need to see how this is seated out and see how far this goes back. This right here needs to be flared out. This will connect right onto the end of this connection right here. So when this connects onto this and bottoms out, it's right here. It's going to lock into place. Give me just a second. All right, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day. I've got to use my brain for just a smidge of a second because I'm making sure I'm not going to screw this up. So when this flares on, this lines up. That's for positive stop. We ain't got to worry about that. When this lines up on here, we have to have engagement. As that engages on there, this thread's on back. That lines up. We've got body that just screws onto the body right there. Cuts back one line, we're good to go. So we're just gonna cut back one line right there. That's where our first O-ring goes on there. There's only one ridge that you can see. That's good. Okay. What a day. So I'm kind of happy with today. Everything's going pretty well. We got lots of stuff to get accomplished. I got a little aggressive with that one, but it's all right. Not the end of the world. So now, cut the jacket off of this. Pull this off of here. Where's my pliers at? Right here. Now, O-ring is sitting where? Right here. I might have that O-ring still sitting on that cut piece. I might have pulled it off and stuck it somewhere else. I don't know. All right, so now when you're working with 7/8, there's no point in getting in a hurry. If you get in a hurry, you screw up. You got to be willing to redo it. You got to be willing to start over. You got to be willing to make a mistake, because especially if it's like your first or second time doing this, and it's early on your builds, then you're gonna have to make sure you don't. I mean, you're just gonna have to work with it. It is what it is. Don't feel like everything's failed when you don't get it right the very first time. All right. build our flange. We want really good engagement on this this flare right here that I'm building on here. So we want to spend a little bit of extra time building that flare out nice and big. Now from here, I gotta see if I've got this on far enough. When we thread it all the way back, we're gonna have divided this connector. All right, 7, 7, 7, 7. It's gonna be 34 foot-pounds or so. All right, I need to watch what I'm doing with this. I'm gonna put this center connector on, screw it on in place. That's gonna go on this way, so I need to be careful and go on the other way. I gotta go on backwards to start with. Line it up to make sure it's set up straight. And now, this way. Am I going right? Let me line this up real quick. Making sure I'm not doing nothing stupid real quick. As I'm tightening this up, yep, going that way. Threads on this O-ring. Come on. There we go. Maybe we'll see if it engaged properly. Now I gotta lock the back side with this one. And I'm about to show y'all the scariest part of this whole scenario right here after I'm done. Everything's said and done, right? Get it on there, get her nice and tight. It ain't tight yet. I gotta get over here to get some grip. Once you get it on there as tight as you can, within reason. Now, you ready? Don't rip it left and right, but do everything you possibly can to try to pull that connector off. If you can pull it off, you didn't put it on right to begin with. If you can't pull it off, you're good to go. So that is how to put a 7/16 in on some 7/8 hardline. Ideally, I recommend you to jump up to your 7/8 EIA or something else, just because the power handling goes down based off of this connector size. But yeah, if you want to do one of those, that's the easy way to do it by hand. It wasn't super easy just because I messed up when I was building it. But hey, that's part of the game. You win some, you lose some sometimes. I screwed up, but that's okay. screwing up is part of this. I don't try to put myself forward as some perfect person who never makes a mistake ever in their life. I just try to stand behind all my products and stand behind what I build. And it generally helps my reputation by doing so. When it comes to connectors, I'm usually pretty good. But hey, I can screw it up for sure. And I just proved that just a minute ago. So, hey, it is what it is. Let's do a little bit of redeeming of myself, I suppose. I'll do some 1/2-inch hardline real quick. Give me just a second and clean this up because it needs a fine dusting is what it needs, but let me cut this real quick and I'll show you guys what we're going to work on next. I've got to have a green set of cutters sitting right here in front of me. I don't, because I put them way over here like a dummy. Okay. Now, if you guys haven't seen it before, this is 1/2-inch hardline right here. This is what it looks like. This is the size coax that it is. And that's what it looks like. So let me line it up real quick and get some work on it. Some work done on it, excuse me. All this stuff has got to get done. So if I do pieces at a time of each one of them, then that'll be all right with me. I feel like I'll put this over here. I don't need to show you guys that. Not that it matters. I'm not trying to hide nothing. But I'll do it this way. Let's work on this right here. Hey, Lois, thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate the accolades. So now we're going to try to use 2 small crescents for this job right here. I just mentioned a connection, and now here I am using it. So alrighty. So this is called a 7/8 EIA connector. If you guys can see it right here, this is what it looks like. 7/8 EIA is commonly used on 7/8 coax, but it's not as common for use on 1/2-inch hardline. So on 1/2-inch hardline, well, ain't that something? I learned something new. All right, cool. Need this right here. Sorry guys, I'm pulling a piece out of here real quick. There we go, I need a pick. Oh, that's hilarious. That worked out great. 1. And 2. So, measurement. I could probably get away with a little bit. If you guys got any questions, y'all feel free to ask. I'm going to give these guys in TikTok a chance to jump back in and hang out. I don't want to be rude to those guys for forever. They might be mad at me by now. I'm not starting my live over for this long. But hey, it is what it is. It's sometimes when stuff screws up, it screws up. So we're not going to chase it down too much. So minimize right here. Pull that booger up right there. Yes. And all right, so while that's loading, if I can get it to load, yeah, I'll do a measurement real quick. $25, total length of 33, physical length here, 7 mils. 7 mils, 33, some final cut. So now let's see where my 7 hits. I have to do the same thing with this one right here. Make sure it hits on a leading edge, a high edge, and it will, so we're doing good. 33. Let's do like 25. Let's just do it, just to see. I want to see if I can get away with something real quick. So jacket, cut, center conductor, cut, good to go. So now, very close. Did a really good job, but not absolutely perfect. All that off of there. Pulled all that off of there. Let's measure and see if we got 7 mil. Not doing too bad, not doing too bad. So let's clean up right here with my dikes. Let's go live on that one. So now, see if it says anything about a Kodak. Yep, see it's slowing my junk down. We'll leave it sitting there for a minute and see if it slows my junk down for forever. All right, so we're not talking a whole lot. I'm sorry. I'm working on some coax. So if you guys want to know about this coax, feel free to ask. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I'll explain it to you. We'll talk about it, and we'll get some explanations in order. Again, it throws me off a little bit whenever I'm doing some of this stuff. So just bear with me for a little bit while I'm working, and feel free to ask any questions you would like. So now I'm going to try to do something a little weird on this. I'm going to try to cut it in a position that allows me to go back to here, but that's it. and I'll see if that'll work. If that doesn't work, then I'll cut it back all the way. Let me go ahead and do my measurement. So I've got it 25, 33, it's 8 more mils. All right, there's the potential mark. There's the main mark that I'm doing. I'm going to use that one first to start with. We'll see if I can get away with it. All right, TikTok is not making me go laggy. It's definitely changing my average time to render frame a little bit, but we'll try to go live and see what happens. We're going to rob a little bit of our stuff. All right. I'm going to continue to watch. Let's see if we have any more frames that mess up. The average time to render frames is going from 7 milliseconds to 8 to 13 milliseconds. It's stopping me a little bit. It does look like it's getting a little bit choppy, but I don't see any frame rate drop. But tell me if my camera is glitching up. It looks like it's glitching up on my end. I'll load it up on Facebook without the Wi-Fi. I'll turn that off real quick. Owe you $1. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3. So 3. Let me do some money real quick. So I've got to send some money real quick. Give me just a moment. I've got to handle a little bit of business. I'll be done in just a second. Torch. Okay, so now we're going to go to Facebook. We're going to watch our own live just because we can. Stopping me a little bit. It does look like it's getting a little bit choppy, but I don't see any frame rate. What do you guys think? It looks like it's choppy to me. Camera is glitching up. It looks like it's glitching up on my end. Wave, 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 wave. I'll watch this real quick. Okay, so now we're going to go to Facebook. We're going to watch our own live just because we can. I'm going to turn my volume down so I don't have to hear all that stuff. But I am going to watch my hand wave in front of the screen and see if that's making it choppy. Hope you guys are doing good over there in TikTok land. I just added you guys back in just to try to be nice. That's a little bit. It's not bad. I can zoom now into the shot. Bump you over just a little bit. I think that'll be a pretty good shot. I definitely feel like it's messed up the live a little bit. So you guys tell me if my hand's choppy and it's jerking me around on Facebook. I would really like to know. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to get a faster computer. Cost me some money, but it'll be all right. Looks like TikTok is really smooth from what I'm seeing right now. It's definitely smooth over there, and it definitely looks like it's chopping around on Facebook land. Average time to render frames, 10 milliseconds. I haven't got any additional frames lost, but it definitely looks like it's lowered the quality. How much CPU? I'm using 40% of my CPU usage right now. I got charge. I'm good. Maybe I should put it on performance mode or something if it's not already on performance mode. All right, let's throw this O-ring on here. What's up, Cole? Hope you're doing well. Everybody else, hope you guys are doing well over there in TikTok land. I don't know what's going on with Instagram, guys, but I'm not worried about it too much. All right, see if this will slide on over. It very much will, and I probably could, but I see where the problem could come into play. It works out great, and I have no real complaints about that, but I'm going to go ahead and just cut it back further, just because it lets me build my flange a lot easier. Everything about the build's harder when I do it that way. So I wanted to see how it would turn out. Wanted to see if I could get away with that design, but I see why. They made it more dummy proof. You could definitely go through a bit more effort and build it the other way. But there's functionally no difference, no problems, no issues that arise when doing it this way. So I'm going to continue doing it the way the manufacturer says, just because I can. It's just this on right there. This allows me to build my flange. If you guys haven't seen me build a flange, I just built one a while ago. I'm gonna build another one now though. Okay, so now let's do a deburr. Alrighty then, now. Two smaller ones right here, this one and this one. This will grab on the back part of this body right here. If you guys didn't know, the way these connectors go on are the opposite of the others, so the back will lock into place where the front stays still. Again, same concept, same problem, same thing you got to do. Rip the connector off. If you can rip it off, you did a good job. You did a bad job. If you can't rip it off, it is connected and is bonded. So it is good to go. That connector is done for this job. So now I have more to do on this one, but I cannot finish it right now. I've got more to do later on. So that's all underway too. So now we're going to go back to some RG400, because, hey, it doesn't matter what you guys got. I got to do it regardless. Unless you guys want to see some RG393. Who would like to see some RG393? Anybody want to see that stuff? That was a 7/8 EIA. That's what that connection was. There's another one sitting over here. This is what a 7/8 EIA looks like. That's with a split feed on the end of it. That's a 7/8 EIA right there. That's an N-type connector right there. So, let's get back to work. So, what do y'all vote for? RG393 or RG400? Any votes? I use 213 in my work truck with my 99 N4. 213 will work fine. It's good stuff. So, I finished up some 1/2-inch flex earlier. This has got a 7/16 DIN connector on it right here. That's what this looks like. That's going, like I said, it's going out of the country, outside the United States of America, so that's pretty cool. I'll keep those connectors over here for this next job. That'll be fun. I don't know why I still have this over here. Oh, I know what that's for. I know exactly what that one's for. Give me just 1 second. Let me look. What do I got right now? What's today's date? It's the 11th. What does it say over here? I'm looking at an order I need to be careful for. Give me just 1 second. We gotta make sure we're doing this right. Let's go right here, take a look at this, take a look at orders. Open this up right here. Look right there. Take a look right here. Let's go to this right here. Let's just go look at the old order right there. Take a look at this right there. Let's go to completed right here. Sorry, I can't show you guys all these guys' names, so I'm not trying to keep y'all out of the shot, but I can't be showing y'all customer information. So I'm backed up just for a moment. All right, give me just a minute. I'll set up this right here. And I gotta do one more. So, it'll mess me up a little bit, nothing crazy, but hey, this is how life goes sometimes. You just gotta roll with it. So, anybody who has any other questions, y'all feel free to ask at any time. It won't hurt my feelings none. That's something. So now, I've got one more 1/2-inch hardline to do, so you guys can see it. And then I've got another one of 393 after that, and then another piece after that. So I'll show you guys how this goes together. $393. Give me just a little bit. I'll do $393 in just a second. I got to put at least one end on this. Give me just a minute. It won't be super long. If you're patient, you'll see some 393 here shortly. All right. Got my measurement, got everything I need. Need to get my caliper real quick and go ahead and cut this for a moment. All right, what time do we got? We're doing pretty dang good on time. So I've got a little bit more to do, and then I've got a few more things to finish up. All right, I'll be back on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube land. I'll be back here shortly, guys. If you guys got any questions, you give me a shout anytime. But I'll be back here in a little bit. All right, appreciate y'all. Just met